Hello to all my college football fans and friends out there. Welcome to another sports edition of the Buckeye Vinny YouTube channel sports show. Hope everybody is staying warm, especially those like me from the Midwest. But my friends, let's get right into this video today. This video is going to be about where has coaching loyalty gone in college football. And loyalty is not a thing anymore in college football like it used to be. Okay? And my friends, I'm 56 years old. So I've been watching college football ever since I could walk. Okay? That is how much I love the sport. But let's be honest right now. From coaching to players, it all seems to me that it's just become a big business. And I'm not liking where this is going. How much money can I make? That's what it's coming down to. Not just for the coaches. Yes, definitely the coaches, but also for the players. NIL money. Why do you think the GOAT, Nick Saban, stepped down when he did in 2023? Right after that 2023 Alabama season, he stepped down. I'll tell you why. Because Nick Saban, just like I am, old-fashioned type personality, old-fashioned type coach, that you play for the love of the game. And for him, all of a sudden, hearing about NIL money, he's probably thinking, what's this? But the big reason why Coach Nick Saban stepped down was because after that game that they lost to Michigan in overtime in 2023, I believe they lost that game 27-20, players were already asking him in the locker room after the loss, what's my options of transferring out so I can go possibly to another team making more money? What? That's what was said. You know, before, where players, if they wanted to earn a spot to start for the next season, they went out there and busted their ass to earn and impress the coaches. Now, some of these players, not all, but some of these players just expect to just go right in the starting lineup and play and start without having to work at it. I don't blame Coach Nick Saban, the GOAT, for just wanting to hang it up when he did back in 2023. And I miss him, okay? Great coach. I miss him big time. But my friends, this is a big reason why he left also, okay? Is because, don't think for a minute, he was feeling the same thing that I'm doing a video about. Is where is the loyalty anymore from the players and the coaches? I hate to say it, it's all become a business, and loyalty was left and forgotten in the pre-NIL era of college football. And here's another example, and I have to say it. Lane Kiffin coached Ole Miss, I believe, for 6 years, making pretty damn good money, okay? I think everybody, all of us common Joes out there would be like, pay me $9 million a year? Wow, I'm staying. He was making $9 million a year at Ole Miss. Guided Ole Miss this season to a 11-1 record. LSU came in on the scene, snagged him up, $91 million contract over 7 years for Lane Kiffin now at LSU, and now he will be making $13 million a year at LSU. I guess 9 wasn't good enough. $9 million a year wasn't good enough at Ole Miss. And my friends, you know darn well Ole Miss would have paid him whatever he would have wanted to keep him as the Rebels head coach. He had it made there. I'm going to throw out some names back in my heyday when I was watching football at a very young age. And I remember these college football coaches like it was yesterday. And I look back at these coaches, all of them, you talk about loyalty to their university. Hayden Fry, Iowa Hawkeyes. What a coach. Was there for a number of years. Lavelle Edwards, BYU. Gene Stallings, Alabama Crimson Tide. Bobby Bowden, Florida State Seminoles. Joe Paterno, Penn State Nittany Lions. Dennis Erickson, Miami. Don James, Washington Huskies. My friends, I just mentioned these names. Johnny Majors, Tennessee. These are some class act, big time college football names of the past that was not looking at furthering their bank account. They were looking at wanting to bring pride to a football program, okay? And wanting to help out and recruit as many kids as they could. And let's be honest, these coaches I just mentioned, do you think they were making anywhere from $9 million to $13 million a year? Not even close. Not even close. Research that. These coaches I just mentioned back in the day weren't even making close to that. Were the players back then getting paid? Absolutely not. Getting paid back then for the players was a full ride, books paid for, okay, meals possibly paid for, and that was it. And your 4-year tuition paid for. Okay, there was no, I'm going to play 2 years and then boom, I'm going to the NFL. What? No. My friends, I'm just going to say sports in general has changed, but especially college football has changed drastically. Not only in a coaching standpoint, but in a player standpoint too. Okay? This opting out, I'm afraid that I'm going to get hurt. Think of what that sounds like. I'm afraid that I'm going to get hurt because I know that I'm going to throw my name in the draft for the NFL. So I'm going to opt out. I don't want to get hurt. Okay. But, back in my heyday, Nebraska running back Mike Rozier, he didn't opt out of games, did he? Correct me if I'm wrong if he did, but I don't believe he did. Okay? Bo Jackson, okay? Herschel Walker, okay? These running backs didn't opt out. Troy Aikman. I remember all of these names I mentioned. If they were not in the national championship, because let's be honest, they did it so differently back then, okay? So differently. They only had the 2 top teams back then. So how many teams that only had 1 loss was getting screwed, okay? So unless if you were undefeated, you were not going. You could lose 1 game and go 11-1, and you were not going to anything, okay? You had to go undefeated. But for the teams that did not go and play in the national championship, 1 versus 2, and they ended up still getting a good bowl game, okay? These players played in the bowl game. Opting out was unheard of. It wasn't even a term back then, okay? And same thing goes with the coaching. When you coached your team, you stayed loyal to that university, to that athletic director, to those players that you recruited, and to the fans. You stayed loyal to them. I'm looking right now, coaches like Ryan Day and Coach Kirby Smart for the Georgia Bulldogs, thank God for them. That they've stayed with their team so far, okay? And not that they're chasing more money and more money. And, I just shake my head how greedy the sport of football has become. And it's sad. It really has. But once again, I just felt in my heart, being that some bowl games aren't going to be played for a while, down the road, the playoffs, that will be kicking off next Friday night and Saturday, okay, the 19th and the 20th. So I figured right now I'll entertain everybody right now doing a video where has coaching loyalty gone in college football. And I would have never thought in a million years that, A, we're doing NIL money, okay? Never thought in a million years. And never thought that coaches would just jump from team to team like it's no big deal, okay? And that's what's going on. Now the late rumor, just a rumor mill, that Coach Kalen DeBoer is thinking about jumping ship from Alabama to Michigan. Just a rumor mill. Why? Why? You're only going to spend 2 years? If it's true, you're only going to spend 2 years at Alabama and you're going to jump ship to go to Michigan? That program that's in shambles right now? You're going to want to go there, Coach DeBoer? I surely hope those are rumors. But once again, my friends, the old expression, money talks. I guess $9 million a year at Ole Miss wasn't good enough. And once again, I feel bad for the players. I feel bad for the fans. Having to constantly learn up on their info about, okay, who's the new coach now at this team? Who's the new coach now on this team? Coaches are like a dime a dozen. They stay, they leave. They stay, they leave. And when you hear about that, to me, that's a business. Okay? That's a business. This is a sport. Okay? This is college football. Not a business. But I hate to say it, my friends, in the past how many years they've been truly running this as a business. Okay? It's a big reason why I don't cover NFL. Okay? And I'm sure everyone sees that. Okay? Buckeye Vinny here covers Ohio high school football, college football, and some little things in between. But for NFL football, no way. And I just pray to God that college football, they're pretty close to being there, but does not get to where the NFL is. That's all I'm trying to say. Some would disagree with me and already tell me Buckeye Vinny, college football is already there. And that could be true. Maybe I'm just hoping that it's not. Or not going to be. But once again, my friends, I'm sure everyone's wondering too. How can you go out and look at a young man, 18 years old, get him to come to your school, okay? And maybe, just maybe knowing that in the back of your mind, you're going to be leaving to go somewhere else to coach. After you already promised this kid, if you come and play for me, I will, I will do everything in my power for you. When technically it's not true. I'm not picking on Lane Kiffin, okay? I guess he has that right. He wanted to leave. But, what was such the drama that he had to do, okay? I knew he was leaving, okay? If he wasn't leaving, he would have announced before that bowl game, I am staying. Don't you think? I know I would have done that. And the fans and the team, Ole Miss, would have went bananas, knowing that their coach is staying. But when you have to make this to be a drama, okay, where I'm going to announce after the game if I'm going, which he didn't right away, okay? Reporters, after that win against Mississippi State, after that win, okay, they were asking him, so, are you staying or leaving? He could not give the right answer. I need to pray about it. That's what he said. He knew darn well he was leaving, okay? So don't play with the players' emotions and the fans' emotions and the university's emotions. Don't play, okay? If you know you're leaving, just say it and leave, okay? So, my friends, and once again, you leave a team that's in the playoffs, 11-1 Ole Miss Rebels, in the playoffs, ranked 6th in the country, very talented football team, running back, quarterback, and you decide to jump ship. Once again, my friends, to me, that's not loyalty. Just my opinion. And once again, you promise these young student athletes the world just so that you have one of the best top quarterbacks in the country or the best top wide receivers or running backs in the country. I'll promise you the world, young man, as long as you come to my school. And then you turn around in less than a year and you leave. To me, no loyalty. My friends, if you are new to my channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button. If you like this video, which I hope you all do, please click the like button. Like always, my friends, please check out Super Thanks. Any donation to my Buckeye Vinny YouTube channel sports show is appreciated. And my friends, not only do I love to read your comments, but I love to get back to every comment that I do read. So please comment down below how you feel. Has coaching loyalty has gone out the door in college football? Like always, my friends, peace out. God bless you all. Click on this face right up here to subscribe. And until next time, keep on watching, keep on liking, keep on subscribing. Buckeye Vinny is out of here.